Welcome everybody to YAR Talk, not sponsored by Nintendo. How's everybody doing?
Good evening.
We
were not just rambling
that's
incessantly.
what's going on, okay.
Oh, don't kid yourself. Of course we were. Joining me today, we got Resulka, we got the Space Quest Historian, we got the Wanderer, we got IkiFoo, and joining us once again after doing battle with her freezer and emerging victorious is our good friend Summer B76.
Yay, Summer!
Woo! Hello, everybody.
Woo! I wish I had some confetti to throw. I don't. Oh, I have this piece of packing material. Here you
go. Hang on.
That exited frame
underwhelming.
way too fast. Effort appreciated nonetheless, I'm sure.
I glanced away for a moment and it was gone.
I got confetti sprinkles. Yeah. Anyway, later on, we'll be talking about adventure games made in sources that you might not expect adventure games to be made in. And we will also be talking about the fashion trend of wearing pork chops on your feet.
Oh, God, yeah.
But moving on. So, before we get to the news...
what? Every Australian in the room just went, oh, God.
I'm just like, what?
Before we get to the news, anybody been playing anything interesting?
I've been playing a couple of demos of games that are about to come out. I put them up on my channel, so it's not really much of a surprise, but I played Little Misfortune by Kill Monday Games, looking very spiffy, very, very cutesy with a dark undertone, just like Mama used to make it. And conversely, I've also been playing Luna the Shadow Dust by, I don't know who's making it, I can't remember, but it's published by Heidelberg Studios, who apparently found my email address and keeps sending me codes for demos, which is very nice of them. Not knocking it anyway.
And you also played a game just recently with a female pirate character. What was it called?
Oh, Nelly Cockle-a-Coola.
Yes.
Nelly Cockle-a-Coola.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
That's all I wanted him to do. Your talk's over. Bye, everybody. No.
Phoenix time.
Phoenix time.
So yeah, I've been playing a couple of free adventure games. I've been taking advantage of Epic's free games. I played Oxenfree, which was...
Love that game.
Yeah, that was all right. It was... the radio mechanic, I think, was maybe mishandled a little bit, but it was all right. I liked it.
It's like the only mechanic in the game.
Yeah. And I played a little bit of Rhyme, which was kind of cool, too.
Looks
damn gorgeous.
That one just got available on there, right? Since yesterday or so?
Yeah.
How's it play? That's the free game that Epic has on their store at current time of recording, probably not when you're watching this.
Well,
all right,
maybe.
I nicked that. It looks like a puzzle platformer / journey type game.
There kind of is platforming in that you have to climb some things and whatnot, but that's not really the focus. It's more exploration based.
All right, I'm keen to try that.
You might enjoy it.
Challenge, like, no precision jumps or anything like that.
Oh, thank fucking Christ!
Well,
there is a bit where you have to swim and get air bubbles, but it's nothing too taxing. I think you'd enjoy it.
All right, so it's not like Inside. If anyone's played that,
no, I don't think so.
It's big. That game is freaky and fun, but it's more like it's a puzzle platformer with a lot of emphasis on like sort of Dragon's Lair type stuff. Do this really quickly, or dogs will eat your face.
As they do.
As they are wont to do. Yes.
Right.
I just started playing Observer and I'm digging it so far.
Oh, how do you like that?
I'm digging it. The setting
world
the one with Rucker Hauer?
awesome.
That's the one with Ruka
Yeah.
Hauer, yes. Got some
Yeah,
dodgy
awesome.
stealth mechanics. I'm not a fan. Not
Yeah.
as dodgy as Get Even, which was fucking all over the place.
Oh,
But still kind of dodgy. But, you know, apparently they were just sick of, you know, their games being called walking simulators. These are the same guys who did Layers of Fear. So they were kind of sick of, oh, all we do is walking.
I
love
like Layers
that.
of Fear.
Me too.
They
I
had
really
so much
liked it.
paprika. So much paprika.
A lot of it. Yeah.
It's overload of I don't that
Are we
joke
thinking
went
of the same Layers of Fear?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what you call your lasagna? Welcome home, my dear. I've made you layers of fear.
What the fuck is happening?
2 skulls and 2 stones, and the rest is just cheese.
That's a terrible cake.
I wanted a biscuit. Shut up and eat this.
I think at this
Active
point we should
Observer,
probably move
sorry,
on to the
back on
news.
topic for a second.
The foo.
Or that.
Finally, I've thankfully not got to the dodgy stealth section yet, but there was a bit where you would just continuously loop through the same room again and again and again, and I got stuck on that for longer than I would care to admit. But I got past it, so
Are you sure you weren't playing
I have reason
PT?
to go back.
Well, is that
I feel
Observer
like I would
you're
have
talking about?
noticed. Cat.
No.
Sorry, Gabriel just wanted a hug.
I technically have a cat.
What does that
Technically-
I don't want to know.
Here comes the unicorn.
Technically, you have 2.
Yeah, well, I have 2 real life cats, but they're not allowed in here. So I have this thing.
Oh.
Ah.
Oh, Satan cat.
Silent Hill.
Sorry for disrupting the flow.
666
Kiki, you were
cats.
saying.
I technically have a cat.
Everyone's going to get their cat per
Goes off to the
paraphernalia.
gates of hell and finds Cerberus, brings him back.
I think something's wrong with my cat. He's just lying there.
He's probably gonna edit this out, so I hope he can hear me.
Here's my cat.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Are you sure?
It looks kind of dead.
Aw.
It looks way too alive for me.
What's
So, can
his
we-
name?
Hang on,
Has anybody tuned out yet?
hang on. Can we
Iki-
cut this bit out and
little
maybe
bit,
turn
honestly,
Iki up
yeah.
a bit? Right,
Once
sorry
you're
to
6, I
derail.
would be horribly offended.
I just love the man's voice so much. I want it as loud as
You
possible.
too.
Slightly closer.
You should read audiobooks, sir.
He should.
And as
About
my,
people looking for
my
melons.
technical cat stares at us in the background.
Oh,
Let's move on
God.
to the news.
Yes.
And the big news is Adventure X will be held once again this year at the British Library. I've got it written down here right in front of me, and I still want to say British Museum. I don't know why. But anyway.
It belongs in a museum. Wait.
It's
It
a
belongs
museum
in a
for
library.
books. I don't know. Anyway, Adventure X be at the British Library on November 2nd and 3rd. Who's going?
I can't.
Oh.
Trolls, no! Man, I really wanted to meet you there.
You know what this means, Iggy? We're gonna have to do the annual vlog for him.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm terrible at
You'll
those.
have to.
Yeah,
you'll all
so
have
am
to
I.
run around with cameras doing my annual video reports.
It'll be
thing.
like,
and
what
you'll
the
have.
fuck?
The vlog isn't going to be as tall this year. We do.
I was about to
apologise.
say, I'll hold you up.
Just record like this.
Also,
Like-
you will have to bring Torpedo Bear because now there's no one to chaperone him. So
Oh dear. Torpedo Bear,
Not
unsupervised.
to look after him in London, literally to babysit him. There's nobody over in Denmark who can look after him, and he can't be left alone.
you do not.
You
leave
saw the game he
Torpedo
made.
Bear.
He's a lunatic.
Wait,
He can't be
Who's looking after him now?
Lunatic.
That was a masterpiece, and you know it.
Who's looking after
looking after
Torpedo Bear right now?
Oh shit.
Okay. Oh shit!
Trolls runs off. Torpedo!
Yes, I will not be able to attend Adventure X this year for reasons that I will be making public in hopefully a month or two.
No.
It's a good reason. You'll love it, I think. Maybe. Probably not.
Fingers crossed for you.
Fingers crossed,
Thanks.
yeah.
Cheers.
I have to manually cross my fingers because I'm so bad at
All right, I'll cross my pinky and my. I don't know what I did there. Ah, yes.
or like.
No, other way around, because that's the sign of the witch, apparently, with your fingers over the top.
Yeah, there you go.
Trolls, put the shroom down.
Thanks.
For not the first time, put the shrooms.
All right, who's got other news?
Well, Sumatra came out
Yes,
Wow.
it did.
from
What?
them Cloak and Dagger boys.
Oh, them so good boys.
Oh, Cloak and
These
Dagger
good
boys.
Best boys.
Them is good boys. Very
I was
secretive
a
boys.
particular
Though.
fan of their viral urinal advertising campaign from the last Adventure X.
Yes,
Which
that was
just basically
brilliant.
involved putting their business cards at the urinals in the men's toilets.
They didn't make the extra effort to put it in the girls' bathroom, though.
That would have looked a bit weird.
To
No,
be
they
fair,
did
do
not
you
get
have
arrested.
urinals in there?
No, but we've got sinks.
I thought
It's not the same.
I thought the word was urinals, not urinals.
It does.
I
the rhyming
didn't
scheme
want to
better.
embarrass him.
Yeah, we would say urinals.
Again, it's the
Say
dialect.
urinals too. Urinals.
The piss boots. There.
Yes,
I've always heard urinals. Yeah.
the slosh caves.
The piss balls.
The wee walls.
But yes, that was
And
brilliant.
here comes another cut.
Mr. Etchison, Sean Etchison, and John Inch. What a pair of lovely gentlemen who, for some reason, every time I meet them at Adventure X, I met them twice now, and we've talked extensively online and such. Sean and I are what I would consider good buddies, but the man never tells me squat. For the 2 years they worked on Legend of Hand, I was like, Sean, what's this game about? And he would just go, It's like, dude, you're
Sean
fucking
Etchison-
programming it.
Sean Etchison sent me a friend request on Steam, just out of the blue.
Yeah. I would accept it. He's a good lad.
Yeah.
He
I
has
did.
good taste in games.
I
He's a
did.
lovely man. He often finds London too hot.
I mean,
Where is he
I would
from?
know. I've never been out of this room.
He's from New Zealand, but he also lived in Melbourne and Melbourne or Sydney. It was one of the two. And now he lives in the UK.
Yes.
And
And
he
they
finds
do live-
London too warm?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was during summer. He takes pictures on his Instagram. He takes pictures on his
Somebody's
Instagram
right
when he's
here.
on like the bus during summer in the UK. Just subtitles it. It's too damn hot.
Well, that's because he wears that huge fucking jacket. They live up to their name. Let's just put it like that. Cloak and Dagger live up to their name. But Sumatra is more of a... It was actually based on an Adventure Jam game that they did with a cheeky monkey. Very scary monkey with red eyes. And now it's been fleshed out into a full game.
Did you play that once? Because I seem to
I-
remember you playing like some game on an island which may or may not have had a monkey in one of your Adventure Jam videos.
I did.
That's what
Pure
I thought.
nepotism. Pure fucking nepotism. Sean promised me a biscuit. I got a biscuit.
Did you get it?
I got a biscuit.
Oh, good.
He
What
just
kind
gives
of
me a
biscuits?
free Steam key.
Nobody cares what kind of business. Speaking of Adventure Jams, I was looking up some Adventure Jams on Game Jolt and Itch.io, just kind of out of curiosity, see what's coming up. Couldn't really find anything interesting on Game Jolt, but I did find a few interesting ones on Itch.io. There is the One Room Jam that ends on June 7th, so probably a few days after this goes out by the time you're seeing this. And,
So work fast.
The premise is basically that it can either take place in one room, or you're trying to escape from a room, or it can have multiple rooms, but one room has special significance.
Or it could be based on that lovely movie that came out where everyone chucks plastic spoons at the screen. That room.
Okay, then. There is the Stop Motion Jam 2019, where you stop everybody from stop motion
Stop
animation.
motion within a limited time frame.
Yeah.
I foresee problems.
Well,
An admirable goal,
these
but
have
nonetheless,
these have started
I foresee
like
problems.
these started at least like a month ago, so
Yeah.
there might be enough time. And the Stop Motion Jam ends on the 18th of June, so it's got a little bit of time. And this one I found kind of interesting, the Fragment Jam, which is basically all about showcasing unfinished games. Like maybe as
Neat.
as a way
I
for
have a whole heap of those for it.
developers to draw attention to them and start working on them again or whatever.
And just finish
and
them up
that-
into a
I like
polished,
that. I like
a
that.
releasable state, not a finished state, but a releasable state, and just go here.
Yeah. Or
This was
basically
my
just
life
to say
once.
this is something I worked on. Yeah.
And it
I thought it was
sucks.
kind of
Here you go.
interesting. And
Seems like a
that'll
good way
end,
to put the pressure on yourself.
that'll be ending on June 30th. So yeah.
That's actually it's close to home with what I'm doing right now for my game development internship. I've been working on a Unity game for which the art assets were created and the scene, but no actual gameplay was implemented yet. So that's what I'm working on. But yeah, that's something that could I don't think it could be shown off because within the context of my internship, it's for the city government, and I don't think we're supposed to just put it online and say this is the thing that is from the city. But yeah, it's like that sort of thing. Like you have this unfinished game, and then actually someone needs to come in and say, well, we're actually going to finish it, and this is the way. And well, it sounds like a good way to encourage people to actually try and finish something instead of just making
Sounds like
bits.
Maybe you could get different feedback from people.
Yeah.
Maybe
finish
get some
this.
ideas
It's
on
awesome.
how to finish this.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
Curiously, we've been asking, what's his name? What's his face? Stacey Davidson, the one of two organizers of Adventure Jam. When's Adventure Jam going to be in 2019? And we have been stonewalled. A couple of weeks ago, he wrote on the Adventure Jam Discord that there's going to be an announcement this week. Week came and went. And then he said, announcement coming soon. Soon technically is still now, I guess. But we're really, there are people waiting in the wings. Me and Mr. Bear, particularly, just waiting to ruin everyone's fun with this. So,
Husboy needs his day in the limelight.
he fucking does, doesn't he?
You'd think he'd have time for that now that Mage's Initiation has been released. Yeah, I wonder what's the holdup.
Stacey
Who knows?
Davidson is not involved with Mage's Initiation.
What?
No,
Wasn't he the...
No, that's Daniel Stacey. Oh, I see. I see where that. Oh,
Okay.
sorry for the confusion. Yeah,
There was a
Stacey
Stacy in
Davidson.
there somewhere.
Stacey Davidson is the dude behind Warbird Games. He's making the Indiana Jones point-and-click adventure,
yeah.
which has been
wow.
in development for 100 years, and I hope he.
That's
finishes-
actually
no,
that-
sorry, Indiana Jones, Star Wars point-and-click.
Han
Sorry,
Solo, yeah.
Han Solo
Yeah.
adventures. Yeah, it's just
I
that
was like,
the main
Wasn't
character
there
sprite.
already an Indiana Jones?
It's
It's
like
because the main
Fate
character
of
sprite
Atlantis.
is basically just painted over the Han Solo sprite from Fate of Atlantis.
It's Jack Houston and the Necron
Han
that he's been
Solo.
working on.
End of Atlantis?
Did I just? Okay.
Yes, you
maybe
did.
It is getting a little. Maybe you should just go on without me.
No, it's actually Jack Houston and the Necronauts that he's been working on for ages. I remember now. Actually, kickstarted that back to that Kickstarter, and I've been following his progress. But I got the two names mixed up because they are somewhat similar.
They
Yeah.
are,
The
they are.
other
At least you didn't confuse fucking Han Solo and Indiana Jones. That one's on me.
I mean,
delicious.
they're kind of easy to mess.
Same
especially
actor.
since
Looks so
same
alike.
actor. But Cassie Bent is the other
Yes.
organizer of that, isn't it? So she just got married to her longtime international boyfriend. So I think that might be the reason why they taking a bit
International man
longer.
of mystery boyfriend.
Yeah, his name's Nick. I know he's Australian, so she often was down here. So I met up with her a couple of times when it's like, I'm in town. I'm like, okay, cool, let's hang out at what's it called, PAX Australia. So I met up with them a couple of times.
Never been to
That.
PAX.
Yeah, hey, you should
should
come
go.
down, man. I don't
should
go, but I go and hang out with people who come.
Oh,
But we would all like Adventure Jam to happen, so Torpedo Bear and I can ruin it for everyone.
I have some plans to ruin
You can
things
program
as well.
now. The
Oh, he
possibilities
can.
are
Yeah.
endless.
Actually,
he
can I tell you?
he can script.
He can script and he can write dialogue like no other. Actually, I can
Literally
tell you,
like no other.
I'll tell you the story. You can cut it out. It might not be interesting. Speaking of Sean Etchison, we actually had an idea a long time ago for a game jam, which we sort of ended up doing ourselves as sort of a prototype for, I think it was Adventure Jam 2 years ago or something, where we would each take photos of our surroundings and then send the photos to each other, and then the challenge was that we would have to create a game out of the photos we'd been sent. So
nice.
I didn't know until the day before Adventure Jam started what photos I would be getting from Sean. So I just, apparently he took a lovely sunny day out at a cemetery and just shot every corner of the cemetery, sent that to me. Which is fun because that's actually what I did to him as well. So we ended up with 2 lovely games set in cemeteries. And that was so the idea for our jam was to just have a big pool of photographs from all around the world. And then you just jump in and take whatever photographs you need, like from this big shared photo library kind of thing. Take whatever photographs you need for the backgrounds and whatever. Character sprites would be photographed, people as well. We'd have this huge sort of library of assets, and then the jam would just be make whatever you can out of this. We had this idea, I think 2 or 3 or maybe 4 years ago, and we've done shit with it so far.
It's always the way.
Anyway, so if anyone wants to arrange that, there's the idea. Run with it if you like. Just, give Sean a shout first. He might be attached to the idea still.
Anybody get anything else?
Speaking of arranging things, I've actually started arranging something with you folks from the YouTube Adventure Roundtable. We are planning another streaming marathon like the one that we did for the Space Quest Historian community in December, but this time we're just calling it the YouTube Adventure Roundtable stream marathon for charity. There are
Have we picked a charity for that yet?
No.
Yeah, I was just about to say we don't really have any firm details on that stuff yet, but we can say that the date it's going to happen is July. It's July 13th. Yeah, I was just on my calendar. July 13th, we are supposed to be starting at the same hour that we started last time, noon Central Eastern. Central European summertime. So yeah, that's like 6 p.m. if you're on the East Coast in the US.
I'll put all the times on the screen.
You can figure it out for your own. And we are going to be going for 18 hours again, if I'm...
Yes.
Yeah, nine
pretty
slots
much the same people.
Pretty
much the same people.
I took my same slot again, so yeah.
It's mostly going to be the same
incidentally,
people.
if you guys have any suggestions for a charity that you think we should donate to for this, by all means, leave it in the comments or email one of us or something. Get in touch with us.
Yeah. Also, the team.
That might work.
In December, we had chosen the team Adventure Games of the past year, like we wanted to showcase games that had come out in the past year and put a spotlight on those. And this time, since we're doing it in the middle of the year, we decided we're just going to do some other team that we can come up with. And so far, we've come up with personal favorites. So everyone who is involved, who is actually streaming, can just pick a game that they like and they want to show off. And but yeah, that team isn't 100% set in stone, unless you folks are now about to say, yeah, we're doing that. But I'm still open to maybe doing something. Well, that's an option as well.
We're all playing Clandestiny now.
You guys will have to explain that to me after the show.
It'll be the Clandestiny marathon.
I picked Clandestiny too. Oh, man.
That means my slot will be 2 hours of me crying.
No, it'll be 18 hours of you crying.
My slot will be 2 hours of me going, what the fuck is this? Because I've never heard of that game.
Really.
You
I
haven't?
want to go to bed, but I must know.
I'm going to show you after this.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Briefly, if you thought the 11th hour was bad, try imagining the 11th hour set in a Scottish castle animated by dingbats.
Nice.
So yeah, I just wanted to say input on the charity is welcome, input on the team is welcome. Also, yeah, as I said, it's pretty much set in stone that we're doing personal favorites, but there's still some wiggle room. And just, yeah, let us know if there are like any games in particular that you really want to see. Maybe someone can be convinced if they enjoy that game to play it on stream. Or just let us know people you'd like to be involved, because we are going to try to get some guest devs. Again, it's not going to be as easy as last time, because in December it was just a matter of contacting the people who had worked on those games from the previous year. But now it's like, if we're doing old games, then it's very difficult to get a hold of those devs. Although there is one person involved who is going to try to get another famous game developer. I don't know if I should give the concrete details on that just yet, but there's going to be very, very spicy stuff. Okay, if we're going to believe it. So Alexander from Human Interact told me that he wants to try to get Tim Schafer involved, because he wants to showcase Full Throttle. So that's not definite yet, but Alexander said that he would attempt that, or at least that he wanted to try that. So yeah, I hope that will work out, because that will be really neat.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a fun bleep.
Yeah.
That's.
it's just going to be 30 seconds. I'm talking.
I may leave that in. I don't know. But anyway, yeah.
Should have just been really shocked.
If you got suggestions again on a charity that you think we might want to donate to, or a theme for us to pick, and even if we don't pick it for this stream marathon we're about to do, we may keep it in mind for future streams.
So everyone come
before July 13th. Yep.
Shut up, Wanderer. And as Summer said, if there's a particular game you want to see one of us stream, again, shut the fuck up. Leave it in the comments. Not Clandestiny. I don't even know what it is, and I'm already putting the kibosh on it.
I have enough savings to get to Australia, and once I get there, I will not need them anymore.
Leave it in the comments, or email one of us.
Live in my cottage.
No, I'm going to kill Dave and get arrested.
Just let them fight it out amongst themselves, and we'll sort it out somehow. But anyway,
I'll sort
Dave as a ghost comes back
to
to investigate his own death.
Yeah.
Probably going to be a short game segment, so I don't know if I should bother with the jingle.
Do the jingle.
Oh, fine. Super happy, fun, happy game time!
Yeah.
That was a noise. That sound just came out of me.
It's kind of fitting that Trolls impersonated a pig, because I am sending a picture into the chat.
It was a pigeon having an orgasm. Please pay attention.
Sure,
are you
if
sure?
you say so.
Huh, yeah.
So, yeah, I saw this news article posted on Twitter by somebody from Sydney, Australia. Pork chop slip up costs $33,600. See, that's my Australian accent. That is not my southern accent. A man who broke his arm when he slipped on a greasy bar floor caused by a patron who wore pork chops for shoes won more than $33,600 in compensation. Even IkiFoo is cringing at my accent. All right, I'll stop.
No, don't stop. I'm so close.
Okay, fine.
Keep going.
Troy Marco Balron, 25, sued for negligence over the incident. Balron told the New South Wales District Court that he'd been playing in a pool competition at the bar when he saw Lucock, and I like how they just dropped his name like we're supposed to know who he is, taping pork chops to his feet. He claimed Lucock said he was using them for shoes after being told he would not be served more alcohol because he was barefoot. Lucock had won the meet as part of a raffle at the bar. So...
Only in down under.
Given that this takes place in Australia, I believe all of this without question.
I think I found a new thumbnail for the podcast.
It's like a Florida man, except Australian.
Yeah. No, they call it Bogans.
Dave, it's fine. Come back to us, Dave.
Yeah,
There's a real chance Dave just went into a coma.
But like, this is not the only time I've seen a story like this. Like, there was like one in I think it was in Queensland that there was a woman with a flip flop that she slipped on a grape in a supermarket that she put there herself,
Put
and she
the
managed to get.
supermarket there? Just
Yeah,
around
no,
Bird
the
to a
grape?
supermarket.
she dropped the grape and she slipped on the grape with her flip flop and
Oh.
because she'd been eating the grapes, you see,
Wow.
which is a horrible thing
So,
to do.
I would like to know. I mean, this almost sounds like a reverse of a spoonful of moon logic. I would give a problem, and these guys would try and figure out how to moon logic the problem to death to solve it. This guy's already doing it. He's got pork chops taped to his feet. What next? What's the next step in this puzzle?
Well, then he walks over the hot coals because then he tenderizes the meat and cooks it.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Wait,
How do
wouldn't
we
that just
cook the
get
meat?
soot all
Fire!
over the-
How do we tenderize the meat? Fire!
This is like an Australian
Never get
barbecue.
your
Just
shoes
light
fire.
something on fire. It's dinner.
Well,
It's
in the summer, you
default
can
response.
just walk on the footpath. Really,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll sizzle. It'll
the
sizzle
hot
up.
sand.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like the beach in Monkey Island 3 first. Yeah.
I imagine that this is taking place in one of those sort of Australian outbacks bars, the kind of the ones that have a lot of wood paneling. It's like a sauna inside. One side of the wall is completely missing, and the guy behind the bar is wearing a wife beater that used to be a t-shirt. It's just sort of unraveled
Rip the
itself to the
sleeves
point
off.
where it's no longer. And the guy walking in is looking for a lead in his case. Dave might know where this is going, having probably experienced all of this. Dave, in fact, has pork chops taped to his feet currently as we speak.
That's why he looks so embarrassed.
He's having an aneurysm.
Is Lukecock one of your aliases?
Dave Lukecock. Oh, sorry. Let's bleep that again. Yeah. But anyway, so the reason he got kicked out was we don't take kindly to people. I can't do an Australian accent, so the dude's southern. We don't take kindly to people like you. You're barefoot. Come back when you've got some proper foot attire. So the guy just walks out back, steals a couple of pork chops, put them on. He wanted it a raffle. There's like a homeless person outside going, "Want some pork chops? I want beer." Sort of like that. It's my raffle. He gets pork chops taped to his feet, comes back in, and does a full-on bend throttle to this dude. Just pulls on his nose ring and goes, "Now tell me who stole the kangaroo poo." It's an Australian mystery.
Oh shit! You know what? I know who this is. This is Gabriel Knight. Not content with stealing the hair off a cat, using it as a
shit.
mustache. He has now vandalized 2 pigs and has put them on his feet.
Pig vandalism.
Pig vandalism.
What category of law does this come under? Is it vandalism or animal cruelty?
Yes.
Gordon,
I'm
this could only be. I mean, it's either Gabriel Knight or Broken Sword dude. Our favorite
George Stobart.
George Stobart.
Georgie boy.
George
Yeah.
Stobart. It's either because
I'd
these are the-
believe it more from George Stobart. I'm just saying.
Too. Yeah.
He is a sociopath.
He is.
I'm just going
Why
to keep
did I
peddling this
blank
narrative until it becomes common knowledge.
But yeah, totally. Yeah, it's George Stobart, the Australian adventure. It's like Broken Sword Down Under.
I was about to say
for
Down Under Dan.
Down Under Stobart.
Down
Under George.
Stobart.
Oh shit! Can someone like brainstorm that game like real quick? Just 4 or 5 sentences. George Stobart goes down under. Broken sword.
I was gonna
this
say,
time
can
it's
somebody-
really broken?
Somebody talk to Alexander and see if he remembers Down Under Dan putting pork chops on his feet.
George
Sorry,
Stobart
you
goes to
just said
Australia, he
George-
gets punched
yeah.
by a kangaroo, he dies.
Oh, thank God.
Okay, so
But that's only if you travel west. If you travel east, it's drop bears.
yeah, that's true.
Bite your head off, man.
Please. It's tarantulas.
It's everything. Fucker steps
They're
on a
working together.
stovefish.
The tarantulas are a distraction. See?
Thought maybe the kangaroos were distracted. Anyway, oh shit. Dave's got this. I can see the cogs turning.
It's actually the chlamydia koalas who are the real danger.
I have a minute for you to say.
The timing of
Broken
that
Sword
was
7, the chlamydia koala.
Charles is like, I could see the cogs turning, and someone goes, "That's the chlamydia."
I thought you looked particularly particularly clap happy today.
If your cogs have been turning for more than 4 hours, see a doctor.
Okay. So George Stobart gets called to Australia. Where do we reckon? Adelaide?
Oh God, yeah, Adelaide.
Yeah. So he gets called to Adelaide. Something about
They have a lot of churches down there.
What is he? Yeah. So what is he now? He's a patent lawyer now, right?
Well, he's always been a patent lawyer, but yes.
Wasn't he a bail bonds dude for a bit?
Oh,
yeah, he was that in the fourth one, I think.
Yeah.
We don't talk about the fourth one.
I don't talk about the third one, but anyway.
I talk about the third one a little bit more than the fourth one, but yeah.
I only talk about the third one when we get into specific fetish category, and that's pushing crates around. Ooh, that gets me so...
Anyway,
do go on.
He gets called for a patent thing to the City of Churches, Adelaide. He gets off
and
the airport.
Wars.
And gang wars. Yep. He gets off the plane, the airport, moves the crate, walks out. Then
gets off in the plane, then gets off the plane, moves the crate. Yeah, all right, we're in.
Yeah. So then
gets off in a crate.
He's sitting in an Adelaide cafe by a church when suddenly a man with pork chops comes in with a briefcase. He's wearing the pork chops as shoes, by the way. He's got a briefcase.
Right.
Walks into the cafe.
Not a pork chop briefcase. Okay, I gotcha.
No. So then the cafe blows up. George is like, not again. Oh, God.
Must be Tuesday.
Then he gets
every cafe around the world just has this picture of George Stobart. Just goes, do not let this man sit on the sidewalk.
If you see this man, please explode immediately.
So then that leads him into this whole, Da Vinci Code-esque little investigation into Lassiter's Reef. Does anyone know what Lassiter's Reef is?
Jesus.
So there's it's not really an urban legend, but it's a little bit of mythos in Australia where this guy, Harold Lassiter, found the widest, longest reef of gold in the middle of the desert and then forgot where the fuck it was. So,
that is a very Australian myth.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, he thought he was going to die in the desert, so he thought, wow, well, if I survive, I'll come back and grab that. But then he survived and forgot where the fuck it was and then spent the rest of his life trying to find it again. Ended up dying in a cave. But anyway, the Templars are looking for this reef of gold to fund pork chops. I don't know.
Yeah, some sort of pork chop empire.
Yeah,
that's actually a really, really good basis for an adventure. Well, up until the pork chop bit. But
so it's good for the first 10 seconds. Great.
No, but the whole Cave of Riches kind of thing, that actually would work as a good adventure game, I think. Someone should get on that.
Let's do it. Lassiter's Adventure. Let's do it.
George Stobart and the Lassiter of Pork Chops. Wait, what?
Submit it for my new adventure jam, Pork Chop Jam 2019.
Right.
Done.
Oh, that would... Okay, I would actually enter that. A game where...
One room,
like the
2 pork chops.
Condition is there has to be a pork chop in the game. Also, the only inventory item can be a pork chop.
And the first puzzle is you have to slide the pork chop under the door.
And then use another pork chop's bone.
Oh, right. I think we just made Richard Cobbett's head explode.
And at that point, I think we'll move
his
on.
ears prick up.
Wait,
Somewhere, Richard Cobbett went...
look at he yelling.
I don't know why his ears are up here. But... what the hell are we doing? Are we explaining the man with pork chops on his feet?
I don't know, can we top that?
I've got
That was
lost
going on.
20 minutes ago.
Because I was
was
about
fun.
to suggest he was on the run from the vegan police.
Yeah.
He knows their one weakness. Unfortunately, that's all I had.
I'll just
Well, all of these will
Yes.
coalesce together to become a game.
just another story from that country.
Yeah.
What?
That'll be next time.
Templars versus the vegan police.
So, I want to tell you guys about one of my favorite adventure games. Speaking of our personal favorite adventure games, and spoiler alert,
missed.
I will be... Nope. I will be playing this for the upcoming stream marathon, assuming the theme is the same. But anyway, one of my favorite adventure games, both just in general and since I started my channel, is a game called Raccoon. And it's a really adorable game where you play a boy in a hospital, and he goes around helping some of the other patients. And you go back and forth between the hospital and this sort of fantastical land with, fairy tale-like creatures. And the fairy tale-like creatures are sort of parallels to the people in the hospital. And I don't want to say any more than that because that would be risking spoiling what is absolutely a beautiful story.
So before you said that, I thought it was like The Longest Journey, except with like cancer patients and shit.
Oh, I was thinking more Wizard of Oz with the whole people from the two worlds lining up.
Yeah.
I also thought it would make a good horror game where she comes back from the fantasy world standing over someone with a pillow just going, what have I done? But anyway, probably not that kind of game.
Yeah.
So the ending of
That's
Fable.
Sucker Punch. That's Sucker Punch.
Oh, right.
But anyway, and it's got just recently an animated series premiered on YouTube, made by the same woman that did the game and everything. And again, I love the first episode anyway. I don't know if it's going to be weekly or not, but it's so freaking cute. I loved it. But anyway, this game, Raccoon, is an adventure game, but it wasn't made in Adventure Game Studio or Unity or Unreal or the usual suspects that you might think. This was a game made in RPG Maker, of all things. And so that's what I want to talk about. Any games that you might have come across, adventure games that is, that have maybe come from unexpected sources or engines, or just places you might not expect.
I mean, at some point I might have said Unity, but there's actually quite a few of those now.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose Unity that's not using the Adventure plugin, Adventure Creator plugin.
Yeah, the Adventure Creator thing. Yeah, Unity is sort of like a catch, and Unreal as well. You can make pretty much anything in those. They're kind of... Adventure Game Studio is a very niche sort of... It only... Well, I actually, that's not true. See, if it was the reverse topic, I could talk about stuff made in Adventure Game Studio that's not adventure games.
Yeah.
Maybe later on we can...
Flashback clones in it.
Maybe later on we can turn this on its head and talk about that.
But shit. Like genre-specific... Like, let's say... the closest thing I can think of is when... Strife. The Doom engine game that has RPG elements and dialogue trees. It kind of has some adventure elements as well. I suppose that could kind of be
classified as an adventure game, yeah.
I mean, it would be fun. Some weirdo actually sat down and recreated Quest for Glory 4 in the Doom engine. Don't ask me how it works.
I saw that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd like to check that out.
God, some weirdo went and made some adventure games in Second Life. I don't know if anybody saw that. But...
Oh, right. Well, poor stand-up software.
To actually answer Gemini's prompt.
Oh, we're answering questions.
Well, I did a very quick Google search before we started recording because I didn't prepare in advance because I didn't expect to actually.
What I could have done.
But I came upon the Godot engine, which is also a recent game engine that's been kind of getting popular for indie games and stuff. It's not nearly of Unity and Unreal, of course, but yeah, for indie games, it's been getting somewhat popular. And I found a post from 2016 that said they released a point-and-click framework. So yeah, pretty much a system within their engine to create point-and-click adventure games. And they had a Kickstarter for, you might have heard of this game, The Interactive Adventures of Doc Mendoza and Pizza Boy.
Oh, I have that.
So yeah, they used they used that framework, the point-and-click framework in the Godot engine for that game, apparently. Yeah, I knew of that game. I didn't Kickstart it myself, but I was aware of it, but I didn't know it was made in an unusual engine like that. So yeah, that's pretty interesting.
I've got
when I was looking on itch.io for the game jams, something I came across on their front page, which I didn't delve too deep into it, but I found it kind of interesting, was basically a thing. A Game Boy emulator is kind of the wrong word for it, but you could use it to make games that look like a Game Boy game.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've seen that. Yeah.
I know
I
what
can't
you're
remember what
referring to, but I can't think of the name right now.
I
You
want to
can,
play
you
with
can
this.
do that. You can do that
Yeah, I'm
in
gonna have to
RPG
look-
Maker as well, because they have the
gonna have
Game
to-
Boy tile sets.
I'm gonna have to look it up
right.
now because it's gonna bother me.
That's an
I think
interesting idea.
I think Gemini's referring to a specific system for creating 8-bit games with that.
There it is, GB Studio. That's the name of it.
Oh no, I was thinking of something else.
And it's free to use if anybody's interested. But yeah,
Oh,
it looks interesting.
looking this shit up.
Yeah.
I would love to see someone make an adventure game in an RTS engine, like top down. And I know the first thing people think is Fallout. All right, yeah, kind of like that, but in a sort of Command and Conquer-ish engine. So you have like multiple protagonists that you can switch between.
like
all over the
isometric.
map. Isometric, like huge map. Again, well, it is kind of technically Fallout, but
But
yeah.
with less RPG elements, basically, though.
Yeah, with no
So,
RPG element,
like
and none of that
Genius
base
Case.
building shit either. Just basically walk around
Case.
solving point-and-click adventure game puzzles, but made in like a StarCraft. Isn't the old Warcraft 2 engine like insanely moddable?
I
Maybe
don't know.
thinking of the Warcraft 3 engine.
Yeah, I think it was
Might
3.
be that
There
one
are
as well.
so
Someone
much
get
stuff
on
for
that,
that.
please.
Like
I mean, I would love to see it in the
Defense,
Command and
that's what those
Conquer
people-
engine.
All right. Well, in the meantime, let's turn this on its head. Have you seen Adventure Game Studio or something niche like that used to make non-adventure games? Hi, Resulka.
Yeah, no, so pretty much when I was teaching myself how to, program in AGS and just in general, basically if you've played any of the Dorcas sister games, I've been using those to there's a dancing mini game. Pretty much every single one of those is like using AGS in a way that you shouldn't be using AGS. I did a version of Eagle Eyes Mysteries called Hawkeye Quandaries, where basically, because I couldn't do like multiple selections in the UI, I actually started using the inventory screen as your fact collector. So,
Right.
Actually, the whole interface of that is actually an inventory screen that you're trying to select multiple facts. So basically, using AGS in a way that AGS isn't meant to be used is my jam.
Right.
Oh, that is terrific stuff. I've seen a lot of weird shit being done in Adventure Game Studio, stuff that just makes me go, I didn't know it could do that. Someone made and I'm not sure. This is a very old example, so this is probably not that impressive anymore. But someone made a pseudo 3D-ish game where you had a pixel protagonist that could walk around as sort of like a Mode 7-ish kind of thing. You guys remember
Right.
Mode 7 from the Super Nintendo kind of thing? With like pixel bushes and shit, and could walk around this lake in the pseudo 3D environment. And it was basically a Spyro the Dragon style thing. You could jump on enemies, and you can, like Super Mario 64 kind of deal. I was like, holy shit, I didn't know that AGS could do that.
Nice. And I almost forgot about this. There's a game coming out, Tobin's Quest, I think it's called. Has anybody seen
yeah.
something about that? But it's like you've got the typical verb commands like use, look at, open, talk, that kind of thing. But you fire them at the things you want to interact with, like a first-person shooter.
yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
fired,
That's
you want to
so
look at the
fun.
window, you fire look at the window, and that
Yeah.
gives you the message, and then your fire detector goes off, and it's fun, all sorts of things. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That looks interesting.
And
Yeah,
that's
I saw
made
that.
by a guy who had never really played adventure games, as far as I can remember, who just, wanted to have a 3D world that was explorable and didn't necessarily just involve, like, constructing sentences. So the idea of actually throwing
Verbs.
verbs at real-life objects
Yeah.
also leads to some interesting interpersonal communication stuff in the game world itself. To talk to characters, you literally throw the verb talk at them.
Hey, talk to me!
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I start my conversations, don't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Carry on
that's
the big
why I'm
plushies.
alone.
There was mention made of Yazie's
12-13, I think.
Trilby's something.
Art of Murder?
Was the actual game that he made. I think 12-13
No,
is
Art of
the
Murder.
12-13
is the-
or the Art of
The Flash.
Theft.
The Art of Theft.
Art
That's
of
what I
Theft.
was
That was the
thinking.
actual game. 12-13
Yeah.
is the engine or plugin that he used.
No, he
with
made
it.
a...
No,
He made a
12-13 is
game.
a different game, but I don't think that was in
It's the
AGS. I
Amnesia.
think that might have
Yes, it
been
was.
in... was it? I thought it was in Game Maker. I thought that was when he
No,
first
no,
started playing with it.
12-13 is the flashback kind of game where you're an
Oh, it's
insane
Poacher
asylum
that's
patient.
in Game Maker. Poacher's in Game Maker.
Right. 12-13 is basically, if you guys have played the old flashback game by Delphine Software, you know, Runny Jumping, Prince of Persia style, really, but made in AGS. And it actually works.
12-13's a 12-13's a really
Nice.
good game.
Yeah,
We
it
should
is a,
cover that at some point.
Art of Theft is really solid as well.
Oh, that as well.
There's,
Yeah.
There was another example I wanted to bring up, which is just a little sort of almost a demo jam type of game called Bitstream, where it's all takes place when you
think
punch
if
a
I've heard of that or
microphone.
not.
No. When you... God, what was I saying? Yeah, it's a command line interface.
Right.
So you're basically sitting there at a DOS prompt, typing in commands, and just exploring this file system and finding out what you can, solving little puzzles. And if you've played Guard Duty and you get to a certain point where you see a stylized skull, then you might suddenly realize
That's
who
where I heard it.
originally
I saw
made
your-
Bitstream. And,
Yeah, I saw your point in Quickie.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
it
should
took
all
me
go
way too
watch
long
that
to
now.
figure that out.
Yeah.
Subscribe to IkiFoo, subscribe to IkiFoo, subscribe
Wrong channel. Sorry, what?
subscribe
Oh, go
to
do
Gemini,
it.
this game, subscribe to Gemini,
There you
this
go.
game.
All right.
What about YAR?
They're already
Oh,
watching
yeah,
us.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Anybody
if you
got any
haven't
more
subscribed
examples?
yet, do it.
Why? What's wrong with you? No. Subscribe down
No,
there.
I can think of a number of engines I would love to see people try and tackle adventure game elements in, or just like make
Right.
full-fledged adventure games in, like a SimCity sort of engine. That would be fun, as in like
Interesting.
like one of those god games, like where you see everything up from up high, like Civilization or Populous or whatever those games are. And you're not
So a bit like
necessarily
black and white, where it's kind of like you do have a quest line through it as well.
right. Yeah, but
really
I
enjoyed
would
Black and
love
White.
I would love to see an adventure game where you don't control the protagonist per se, you control the environment around the
Yeah.
protagonist, so that you're
know
sort of
what?
trying to nudge the protagonist to go
I can
solve
see
puzzles
that.
rather than directly influencing him
You
to
could
do
sort
it.
of like
I want to
possess
say there's
one of the.
I want to say there's a
people
game
on
on
the street.
Steam that I saw that's sort of along those lines. Like the description says that you basically control or affect the fates of a handful of people, like 12 or something like that. But from the screenshots, it looks like a sort of a Sim City type thing, or at least you have an overview of this city. Cannot remember the name of it for the life of me, but I think it was sort of semi along those lines.
It's a quite popular thing in puzzle games, actually. You just sort of manipulate the environment to help somebody through. Lemmings, obvious example of that.
Right.
Completely unrelated to adventure games, though.
Yeah, but the interesting, I
Got
mean,
nothing else.
in like little puzzle games, you're affecting small bits of the scenery. In the god games, you can like build mountains,
Yeah.
and cause floods and shit like that.
I wonder if I should go this way.
No,
maybe
there's a
not.
volcano in your way
I will
now.
try that way.
But yeah, that's all I got.
Volcanoes don't bother me. I got pork chops strapped to my feet. I mean, what?
They get a good
Safe from the
searing.
vegan police.
While Dave tries to neutralize his 13th headache of the stream or the podcast or whatever, who's got stuff to plug? We already mentioned IkiFoo's newest point and quickie. If you haven't seen that, go check that out.
Subscribe to IkiFoo. Subscribe to IkiFoo.
He's got enough publicity.
Subscribe to all these bastards. Subscribe to all these bastards. Subscribe to all these bastards.
That covers it.
Yeah.
But
Well-
yeah, IkiFoo did a point and quickie on Guard Duty. If you haven't seen that, go check that out.
I'm playing guard duty in the weekends. on stream.
You said yes.
I might even
Do it
have
on
the Nathan
Sunday.
himself, the Chicky himself, join me. He was busy last Sunday when I played part 1. This is again at time of recording. He said he was interested in showing up and doing a little like director's commentary style thing, like I've done in the past with Francisco showed up for Lamplight City and Jay Tholen showed up for that thing he did. Hypnospace Outlaw.
There you go.
Ice cream.
Yeah. So yeah, Chicky might show up for mine as well. Woo.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
So look for him, Space Quest Historian, and maybe the other dude. If he shows
Subscribe
up.
to my ass, subscribe to my ass, subscribe to
Well, I'm playing through Titanic Adventure out of time at the moment.
Damn it! I can't believe I forgot. I wanted to ask, how the ever-loving motherfuck did you get that game to cooperate with you for recording?
It only took 1/4 of my soul to give over, and it's fine. No.
So you've
I
got half
didn't-
left. I mean, what?
Also, we all know that Dave's soul is regenerated by the proximity of wonderful light fixtures. Light fixtures. So if-
what I'm doing, right,
see
is
that.
I'm using, on OBS, I'm using display capture instead of
Right.
window or game. So it just captures the whole thing, and I'm using the GOG version. And it's
I
fine.
tried that. It didn't work. I'm going to have to try that again.
Well-
and I'm going to be
well, when
pissed if
I-
it works now.
I'm gonna
When I
have to
recorded
start
it
again.
last time, right, I tried playing through this before, and it was fine for the first 2 episodes, I think. And then every
Right.
time I'd start it up on OBS, it would just go really small and go to the top of the screen, and there'd be like 4 of, if you know,
Maybe you
it's
should
like,
be
Yeah.
using OBS for it. Maybe
Yeah.
try using something else, like Camtasia.
well, I
Camtasia.
didn't try Camtasia. I didn't,
Hashtag not spawn.
Yeah,
No.
sponsor me.
hashtag please spawn.
If we have to talk about a
yeah, I didn't
sponsor,
try-
I'm glad to see Resulka is drinking iron brew. It was
Ah,
also showing.
Yeah.
Yes, gotta
Why does it
represent.
taste like raspberry? Why? Why?
It tastes different for everyone. No one knows what's
Oh,
Please-
I
in
love
It's-
it though.
Please
I don't
call
think
this
it
Iron
tastes
Brew.
like
it's so
raspberry.
good. It's so good.
It's
But
citrus.
yeah,
It's there's
Titanic
citrus
out of
there
time.
as
display
well,
capture
but
works.
citrus raspberry.
But anyway,
I'm
do
gonna have to
take
try
a look
that.
at the Wanderer's playthrough of Titanic Out of Time, because the man is a giant history nerd, which is why we give him such a hard time about the light fixtures, because he basically orgasmed for 10 minutes straight in the first episode over a light
I'm not
fixture.
even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie. That was
He
on Honor
wasn't
and
the
Glory,
only one
but
when he first showed it to us. I'm just saying.
it was a mutual. I mean,
I was lying
light
down in bed. It was a
fixtures.
good time.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's gonna be.
Good
a
night,
fun
everybody.
Hell yeah.
But if you want to see something even more awkward, you should definitely check out our playthrough of Synergist.
Yep,
fuck
that's
yeah.
still going on.
Yeah.
The light
That's-
fixtures in that are horrible.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
As is everything else.
Hey,
Yeah,
check out the next episode. The character might get laid.
Oh,
Whether or not you
I
want
saw
that to happen is neither here nor
It's
there.
not gonna happen.
Dude's a charmer. Dude's an
Sorry, Emily.
but
Oh, come on, you're not doing it right. Yeah, but put some action in that elbow.
you have to go up on the butt.
but
No,
phrasing?
you see, the sounds in your mouth were way too in sync. You gotta like, there's gotta be at least a mile between those.
yeah, but
That's
mean,
pretty
that-
good,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
There you go.
Synergist truly stretches the definition of full motion video.
Yeah.
It's
if you know what I mean.
We might be able to submit Synergist for the stop motion jam.
yeah, actually.
Pretty much.
Like, have you seen this dude walk? Anyway,
Especially when it's been
not
sped
much-
up.
Yeah, not much new. No, well, then we'd have to submit it for the Benny Hill Jam. Not much new going on my channel. Either of them, really. Still playing Whispers of a Machine and Donkey Kong Country on the gameplay channel. Finally got all episodes of Whispers of a Machine recorded and uploaded, so hopefully I'll be able to move on to more projects now. But anyway, yeah, go check those out. And anybody else got anything?
Subscribe to Gemini Does Games. Subscribe to Gemini Does Games. Subscribe to Gemini.
Well, I mean, that's a given, but anybody else got
Yeah,
anything?
yeah.
Just games.
Start of
No.
April, I finished my Leisure Suit Larry stream playthrough, and then I streamed Dropsy as well. And since then, I've been kind of too busy to stream, sadly, due to my internship. But hoping to get back to it this summer. And I don't know yet exactly what I'll stream. Last time I streamed was the first part of Monkey Island 2. But since Trolls is now doing that playthrough, series playthrough.
Well, he's doing Monkey Island 1, so...
Yeah, but by the time
it doesn't matter either way.
I'm able to stream again, he'll be on 2, I presume.
Oh dear.
I don't know
Have
yet.
you seen how long it took me to get through Insult So... Oh, actually, that episode hasn't gone up yet.
No,
Spoilers.
we've not seen how long it takes
Although
you to
by
get
the time
through
this comes out, it may be up.
Oh,
But
yeah.
anyway, yeah. Go check out Summer's Twitch channel and give her a follow if you haven't already.
Follow
And
me 76.
That, I think, will do it. So thanks to everybody for joining me. I had fun.
Thanks
as
for
always.
having us.
And thanks to you guys for joining us. And again, if you have any suggestions as to theme, charity, game, anything
Game,
for
Destiny, you know.
Shut up. For our upcoming stream marathon, leave a comment down below or get in touch with any one of us except for the Wanderer, and we will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.